What's up, y'all? This is your boy Eddie Jackson. Welcome back to the Drop That Podcast. Before we get into MMA mixed with boxing talk, we could just call it combat sports talk. We're going to shout out to our sponsor, Layback TV, okay? Over 10,000 channels, movies on demand, every sports channel, every HBO, pay-per-views, multiple languages, very simplified if you're fucking dumb as shit. Number one against Xfinity, number one against Spectrum, and it's compatible on your iPhones, your Androids, and your Fire Sticks, okay? Check them out on laybacktv.com if you think I'm bullshitting, okay? LAYBACK TV.com, and shout them out on their Instagram, official _laidbacktv. Now let's get to some combat sports talk. Whoa! Yo, lots to dive into, so we're going to mix in one episode from a review from our segment, Who You Got. We had UFC 309 that went down this past Saturday at Madison Square Garden. Jones versus Miocic, heavyweight championship, and co-main event, Oliveira versus Chandler, okay? Also, that went down on Friday, okay? On Friday, it was Netflix presents Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson and Katie Taylor in a rematch with Amanda Serrano, okay? So let's dive into quickly on the Netflix joint. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. It was a rematch from 2 years ago. They main evented Madison Square Garden. They were supposed to be the co-main event to Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. That fight fell apart, so they got bumped up to the heavyweight. They got bumped up to the main event. Katie Taylor took the decision by split. Now, with this fucking fight, 10 rounds, 2 minutes apiece, multiple headbutts by Katie Taylor that ended up cutting Amanda Serrano. Bullshit ass referee that basically took 1 point away after how many warnings, and they gave her the judges gave her a unanimous decision to Katie Taylor. What the fuck? Even with a point deduction and with the stats that Amanda Serrano pieced up Katie Taylor with more punches than Katie Taylor actually landed. I don't understand this situation. Amanda went up 2 weight classes to fight Katie Taylor again when she's a featherweight. I think it's bullshit. I think the referee and those piece of shit judges failed Amanda Serrano on a fair fight. Not to mention that first round was definitely like looked like a 10-8 round. I don't understand what the fuck is going on in boxing. This just shows it's shit, and it's because of bad judges. You know, they should be fucking fired. We waited 2 years, a little over 2 years, for this fight to rematch and see who's the better woman. I think we found out. I think Amanda Serrano should feel happy that it may be not on the cards because of shitty judges, but Amanda shows she's better than Katie Taylor. And if this is the kind of fight that Katie Taylor wants to, be remembered by multiple headbutts, then so be it. Amanda doesn't need Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor got her biggest payday, and it had nothing to do with her promoter at Matchroom, Eddie Hearn. So Katie got it, but I think Amanda Serrano and the crowd knows who won that fight. Main event, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. I called it. Jake Paul by decision. I was very curious to see why Mike Tyson was throwing left hooks, no rights. But I think it has something to do with that knee brace. He came in there. It was showing it in the countdown shows on Netflix. He had a knee brace on his right knee. For some reason, he's not like, I think there was no power behind that knee, and it was not allowing him to throw a right hand. I think it was funny how he said he was biting down on his glove because he has a fixation on biting. It was hilarious. But Jake Paul got it. What happens next? Before I say what happens next with Tyson and Jake Paul, What should be next with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano? Some people say it should be a trilogy fight. Maybe Croke Park in Ireland. I don't know. I think America has failed Amanda Serrano. I don't even know if going to Ireland would be the best bet for her. Personally, if you couldn't get the judges in New York, where it's full of Boricuas, you couldn't get the judges in Arlington, Texas. I don't know what kind of luck she would have at Croke Park in Ireland. I don't. It'd be bullshit. But whatever. Jake Paul gets the nod. What should Mike Tyson do? Mike Tyson said he wants to keep going. I don't think he should. I think this was a great moment for him. $20 million payday to go 8 rounds with a young dude at 58 in the biggest venue he's ever done in his career. He's done arenas, whatever, even in the 80s, bigger platforms in Vegas, but he did a stadium. So this is very, very good for Mike Tyson, to accomplish. I don't want to see him go through this again. This was not necessary. Some people say he should fight somebody his age. Maybe a rematch with Evander Holyfield or a rematch with Lennox Lewis. Personally, I think if he rematched Evander Holyfield, most likely I think with that physique, I think he wins. With Lennox Lewis, maybe, but I don't know. I definitely don't think he could go 8 rounds, maybe 6 rounds or something like that, but he doesn't need to. He should retire and do his thing. Jake Paul, he said 2025 Jake Paul was going to debut in MMA at PFL. Damn. And now everybody's calling him out on X, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's just been announced. The one loss he got, which was Tommy Fury, Tyson Fury's little brother, he's taking a fight with Darren Till. So Tommy Fury is not on the table. KSI, I don't think he gets that fight. The negotiations, who will promote it, with Misfits or MVP. I don't think. I think the promotion side. I don't think KSI versus Jake Paul will happen. Should he take on another MMA guy? I don't know. It'd be hard to see who he gets next. A lot of boxers are calling him out. He wants Canelo. Canelo ain't gonna do it. Probably it'll be his last final fight. To fly off into the sunset, big payday. If Canelo didn't want to fight Terrence Crawford for the big payday that Turkey Al-Sheikh was gonna pay him, what makes you think he's gonna take Jake Paul? I don't think so. So makes no sense. Alex Pereira, he's too busy hugged up on his contract with the UFC. So is Conor McGregor. So I don't know. It'd be hard to see what Jake Paul does next. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he should be a heavyweight. I think he was a little slow at heavyweight. I think he's better off at cruiserweight. Maybe he could figure out a contender that will get him in the rankings. Maybe he can probably get that world championship. I don't think he should do the Olympics. But yeah, I think he should figure out how to get into the cruiserweight division and take out one of those top contenders, challenging him. Big payday, and maybe he can actually get a title shot. He's running out of options. He's always got options, but options that we give a fuck about. I don't know. Maybe, and it'll be curious to see how he does it on the platform. Is he gonna? I think he's gonna fuck with Netflix maybe again. Maybe not. I don't know. Unless he does it with DAZN. It's always on the table, but Moving on to UFC 309, Oliveira versus Charles Oliveira versus Iron Mike Chandler. 5-round number 1 contender, went the distance. My pick didn't win. Chandler gave up rounds. I don't know what kind of game plan he was doing. And if I have to be objective, I think Mike Chandler should switch up his team. I don't think he should be fucking with Henry Hoof no more. it's just pointless. It's just pointless, you know, because I mean, don't get me wrong, Michael Chandler does entertaining fights. I mean, I love UFC version of Michael Chandler than I do Bellator version of Michael Chandler. He's making money, but if you think about it, he's only won 2 fights in the UFC against Dan Hooker and Tony Ferguson. You know, and every top tier contender fight that he had, whether it was Dustin Poirier, whether it was Justin Gaethje, the 2 fights with Charles Oliveira, he's just losing them. You know what I mean? Like, this should have been, like, he was in perfect shape, perfect skills, and he got outclassed by Charles Oliveira. So he's not the top contender. And then he goes off and calls out Conor McGregor again, and possibly Max Holloway for the BMF belt. I mean, personally, do I think he should be fighting Conor McGregor? I think that's a waste of fucking time. You're going to go bulk up to 170 again for a fight that's probably not going to happen until late 2025. I think he should move on. I mean, I know he doesn't want to lose that big red penny night payday with Conor McGregor fights. It's pointless to go after. I think a Max Holloway, Michael Chandler fight is really intriguing. I think that could main event. I think BMF belt on the line will be fucking perfect. And that right there, like, could solidify you as, if not, I mean, that could solidify you, because we know Islam Makhachev and Arman is fighting next for the lightweight championship. We know Charles Oliveira got next. But if you challenge Max Holloway for the BMF belt, definitely they got the shot after Charles Oliveira. And then you're right back in the conversation, even if you take a warm-up fight with Conor McGregor. I don't understand it. I mean, it's either Chandler figure out this little funk and get out of these losses. Otherwise, I don't see a world championship in his future. That's just me. Moving on. Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight championship of the world was fucking literally a masterclass by the GOAT himself, the greatest of all time, Jon Jones, John Bones Jones. He pieced up Stipe. I don't know what the fuck Stipe was training for. It seemed like he didn't have an answer. He didn't even have an offensive answer. I mean, he was punching Jon Jones. He was tagging, but it seemed like there was no power on there. He was very slow. Jon Jones, he figured out a way. I mean, we didn't see the spinning back elbow, but we damn sure saw a spinning back kick that landed right on the ribs and knocked the wind out of Stipe. And we got TKO win. Jon Jones retained his heavyweight championship. Stipe retires. I want to thank Stipe Miocic for an incredible career. He's the heavyweight GOAT, most title defenses. He deserves to enjoy his retirement with his wife and his kids, and his career as a fireman. So I respect firemen a hell of a lot more than I respect cops. So thank you again, Stipe. Jon Jones wins the fight and started negotiations. If Hunter Campbell and Dana White could play ball, he might give the fans what they want. He never said it out loud, which was Tom Aspinall, but he might give the fans what they want. Is that a win-win for Jon? No. I think Jon is doing the right thing, negotiating out loud, because there's no winning. There's no win beating Tom Aspinall. Okay, you unified the heavyweight title. So? You added him to your resume. So? What the fuck does that mean? If Jon Jones wins against Tom Aspinall, I got paid to do this to the hype train. He loses, he got paid significantly to lose to the hype train. So I totally understand it. Should he fight Alex Pereira? I mean, as of right now, yeah, it's a hype, but in the end of the day, I feel like that's a landslide. Jon has way too many tools to beat Alex Pereira. He has the IQ, he has the wrestling, he has the size. On paper, it looks great, champion versus champion, but it's pointless. I mean, yeah, it's great on your resume, you know what I mean, but that's about it. I feel like if Jones takes a fight Tom or Alex. I think it's going to be International Fight Week next year in Vegas. I don't see him fighting any other time. But, yeah. He's saying he's not going to retire. He's going to give us some more. So, let's see if Uncle Dana and Hunter Campbell play ball and give this man multi-millions what he wants. And we'll see where we go from there. But that's it. That's all we got for the Drop That Podcast. This is your boy Eddie Jax. Y'all hit the subscribe button, like the page, join in, get into this information. We're only getting bigger, motherfucker, and you can actually comment all you want. Do what you gotta do, okay? I'm your boy Eddie Jax again. This is Drop That Podcast. We out this bitch. Peace!